Well, good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you to SPIA's 2022 undergraduate convocation. Everyone has taken their seat, and it actually makes me feel very excited because as we navigate the COVID situation, we weren't sure this was going to come to pass. So this is, for me, a dream fulfilled. Congratulations to the class of 2022. My name is Matthew Auer. I'm the Dean of the School of Public and International Affairs at the University of Georgia. I'm delighted to have this full house in person. And what I'd like to do now is introduce our first speaker to greet you this afternoon, Grant Thomas. Grant Thomas is the Director of Health Strategy and Coordination in the Office of Governor Brian Kemp. Previously, Grant served as a policy advisor in the Governor's Office and in government relations roles for the University of Georgia and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Grant is a double dog with a bachelor's degree in political science and a master's in business administration. He has served on the SPIA Alumni Board of Directors since 2018, and he is currently serving as chair of the board. Please join me in welcoming Grant Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Arthur Tripp, Dean Auer, faculty, staff, friends, and family, and most importantly, the newest members of the SPIA alumni family, the UGA SPIA class of 2022. I have the privilege of serving as the 2021-2022 chairman of the SPIA Alumni Board of Directors. On behalf of our Board of Directors and all SPIA alumni in this state, throughout the country, and around the world, I would like to congratulate all of you on reaching this important milestone and becoming the newest members of our SPIA alumni family and the UGA alumni community. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your special day. 7 years ago, I was in your shoes and where you find yourselves today. I was proud of what I had accomplished at UGA and the great experiences I had over the course of 4 years in the best college town in America, Athens, Georgia. Yep. Of course, I was also a little anxious and apprehensive about the future. But most importantly, I was incredibly grateful for the lifelong friendships and relationships that I had developed over 4 years with my peers. When I first came to UGA as a first-year student in the fall of 2011, I had no idea I was joining a community that I was not only going to be a part of for 4 years as an undergraduate student in Athens, but a community that would endure for the rest of my life. That sense of community, like all communities, is important. It is the unifying aspect that binds us all together. You may not realize this yet, but the bonds and relationships formed as students here will last into your professional career and your personal lives. Many of my coworkers, colleagues, and friends today were also SPIA classmates of mine almost 10 years ago. I also think back to all the investments that SPIA faculty and staff made in me as a student and the doors that were opened to me because of their mentorship, their encouragement, and their guidance. Some of these incredible professors are still with SPIA today, including Dr. Mary Ann Gallagher, Dr. Audrey Haynes, and Dr. Charles Bullock. Thank you for believing me. Thank you for believing in me and for all the doors you opened for me. I was proud to say that I not only majored in political science at UGA, but I also majored in Bullock. Between two courses and 2 full-time internships at UGA, I earned 30 hours of course credit from Dr. Bullock. He also recommended me for one of my first political internships back in 2013 to a SPIA alum who was overseeing a statewide campaign. 9 years later, I'm still working for that same elected official whose campaign I worked on as a SPIA student. This example I just shared simply illustrates the strength of the SPIA community. The SPIA alumni community has helped thousands of SPIA students over the years find opportunities that have led them to where they are today. As you graduate today and move on from your time as a SPIA student, I would just encourage you to seek opportunities to serve others who are members of this incredible community, both other SPIA students as well as fellow alumni. What makes the SPIA community strong is the commitment we hold to serving each other. There are so many ways to become involved and give back to the school that has given so much to us. Attending events, mentoring students, fundraising, and personally giving. And don't worry, we're not going to shake you down for money today. However, I think the most impactful way we can give back to SPIA and give back to the school is to extend a helping hand to current students and fellow alumni. I know I benefited immensely as a student, as I'm certain many of you have from SPIA alums who took the time to take our calls, get coffee, or simply just offer us a quick word of advice. I've yet to meet a SPIA alum of any age or occupation who is unwilling to, at the very least, give some career advice or some pointers to fellow alums or current students. So please, take the time to slow down and be willing to help those around you so that when it's your turn to help that young alumnus or SPIA student, you will be there to do it. We are all busy people, yet we can all make the time to help others, just like our mentors were willing to invest in us. You are the newest members of our SPIA alumni family. We want to see you thrive, and we want to see you succeed, and we know you will. Also be mindful that from this day forward, you represent this school and this university, so do so with honor and integrity. Cherish this moment today and use it as an opportunity to thank your friends and your loved ones for the incredible investments and sacrifices they've made to help get you to where you are today. Please also thank the SPIA faculty and staff for the investments that they've made in you and that they continue to make in this community. I wish all of you the best today as you celebrate this great achievement. If the board or I can ever be of service to any of you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, congratulations, and go Dogs.
Thank you so much, Grant, and thank you for your amazing leadership on our alumni board. I'm now delighted to introduce our student speaker, Shahrzad Zamir. Shahrzad is graduating today with a bachelor's degree in international affairs. She is a self-described activist, organizer, Iranian immigrant, daughter, and a learner of the world around her. During her time at UGA, Shahrzad served as a legislative fellow for Representative Spencer Fry. She is the founder and president of the Undocumented Student Alliance, an advocacy group that organizes educational programs and works on behalf of undocumented students in Georgia universities. She also served as a research assistant to Dr. Leahy Ben-Shitrit and Dr. Jane McPherson, looking at issues like the roles women play in conservative religious movements in the Middle East and the effectiveness of protest methods used by student activists on college campuses. Additionally, Shahrzad served as an intern for Athens County court-appointed special advocates, which provide services for abused or neglected children who are in foster care. Please welcome Shahrzad.
Thank you, Grant Thomas, for your words, and thank you, Dean Auer, for the lovely introduction. Good afternoon, Dean, faculty, staff, and graduates. My name is Shahrzad Roshan Zamir, and it is my greatest honor to be addressing you all today. Families, friends, mentors, and supporters, thank you for being here. None of us would be here without your unconditional support, love, and guidance. To my own family, I would not be a fraction of the woman that I am at this moment if it was not for the example that you set and the path that you paved for me. Friends, classmates, our journey to being here has been far from easy. Our undergraduate experience was complicated, to say the least, by a worldwide pandemic that challenged us in every aspect of life. But this is the day. This is the day that you have dreamed about, shed tears about, spent sleepless nights at the MLC for, and consumed questionable amounts of caffeine for. We made it. Congratulations. As I stand among this body of hope and light, I cannot help but think about the energy, optimism, and passion that this group of people is going to pour into our world, a world that desperately needs our kindness right now. When you look ahead, Whether you are planning on continuing your education, entering academia, or working in local federal government, the work that lies ahead of us can look difficult. It can be frustrating, and you might feel lost at times. But it is precisely in those demanding moments that you have to remember the bigger picture. The work that we do is impactful, groundbreaking, and essential. And we do it with a heart that is dedicated to making this world a better place. We do it with radical compassion. I am the daughter of a revolution, born out of compassion. I have lived amongst the Iranian people who overthrew an autocratic regime with their willpower in the Iranian Revolution of 1979. I have also lived in the betrayal that resulted from the aftermath of 1979, another authoritarian regime that rules to this day. I am wounded by the pain of Iranian political prisoners, journalists, and human rights workers who are punished for their work. I am a witness to my family in Iran who is slowly losing the ability to purchase day-to-day necessities due to maximal inflation. Yet nothing compares to the courage with which my countrymen and women fight to take control of their fate every single day. I have heard radical compassion in the voice of every Palestinian who is born with rebellion in their blood under the rule of an oppressive state. I have seen radical compassion in the face of every Black man and woman who is to this day fighting for liberation and equality in a system that excludes them over and over again. I have organized among undocumented students who tirelessly fight for educational equality in the state of Georgia. And I have witnessed radical compassion firsthand through parents who dropped everything to move me and my brother here for a better life. My father, who changed the trajectory of his life, who worked countless nights and hours to reobtain his bachelor's degree while still providing a steady income for our family. My mother, who transitioned from being the first female supervisor of a radiology department to working 2 jobs in the service industry and sitting in undergraduate classes again. Not once did they complain, not once did they doubt that their hard work would be worth it, and not once was there ever a gap in the support that they provided for me and my brother. When I got to the University of Georgia, I was an accumulation of my ethnicity, my lived experiences, and my political opinions. I was also very loud and very opinionated. I still am those things, just more controlled. As I sat through international affairs classes with my peers, I soon learned that we're all here because our hearts beat with compassion for an issue that is near and dear to us. The School of Public and International Affairs allowed me to see the interconnectedness of our purposes, the intersectionality of our identities, our struggles, and our thoughts all fuel our radical compassion. To our faculty, you provided us with the tools that we needed. I lost my place, sorry. To our faculty, you provided us with the tools we needed to achieve the change we most desired. Dr. Ben-Shitrit was the first person to truly teach me about the intersection of religion, gender, and resistance. Thank you for serving as a mentor and confidant for the past 5 years. Dr. Gallagher, thank you for constantly pushing us to challenge ourselves and perceptions. I will never forget the definition of a state, nor the role that gender plays in it. Dr. Gail Redmond, though we might have complained about the 40-page readings, thank you for teaching us the beauty of dissecting ethnic conflict and violence. And to Dr. Chad Clay, whose legendary human rights class I waited 4 years to take, thank you for reminding me of my utmost purpose in the midst of uncertainty, to protect human rights and human lives from the chaos of political systems. Class of 2022, what we have learned in our classes is not far from home. Our fights for liberation are parallels of experiences in different times, places, and cultures. Whatever phase of life is awaiting you, I have no doubt that SPIA students are destined to make an impact. Conscious of our political ideology, gender, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and all other defining characteristics, we are all in this place because we care. We didn't necessarily choose this route because it pays well. And let's face it, we did not choose it for the 20-page papers either. We chose our majors and our school with our hearts and minds present, and we will make our impact in the same manner. To the classes below us, our peers beside us, and the world in front of us, with our hearts full and sound minds and a dedication of radical compassion, I would like to once again congratulate the class of 22 for their hard work and dedication.
Shahzad, thank you for those really eloquent and inspiring remarks. I think I probably should just turn over the rest of the program to you. That was awesome. But I have another stem winder for you, and that's Arthur Tripp. Arthur Tripp was appointed by the Biden administration to serve as the state executive director of the USDA Farm Service Agency, FSA, in Georgia in October of 2021. And thank you, President Biden, for allowing Arthur Tripp to be our Speaker of Honor this afternoon. Tripp is a native Georgian born in Warner Robins. Prior to his appointment, Tripp served as the Senior Policy Advisor to U.S. Congressman David Scott, current Chairman of the U.S. House Committee on Agriculture, where he manages the agriculture policy portfolio for the Congressman. That was in the past. Now he's where he is now. In fact, just a few streets away from us. He has also served as the Senior Administrator of the Office of the President at the University of Georgia and as District Director for Georgia's 7th Congressional District. Tripp is a SPIA graduate, having earned his degree in political science in 2009. He was named to the 2015 class of UGA's 40 Under 40 and served on the Alumni Board of Directors for SPIA. Please welcome Arthur Tripp.
Good afternoon, class of 2022. You know, in the words of the great American philosopher Taylor Swift, I don't know about you. Come on, say it with me. But I'm... All right. I'm a little upset that I have to follow Shahzad, but we're going to make the best of this. You know, and I know that I'm the only thing standing in between you and your graduation parties. And so I promise I will keep it brief. But class of 2022, this is an incredibly monumental moment. For some of you, you are the first person to graduate from college. We're at our first gen. And for others of you, you have finally moved from the stands to center stage. Either way, no matter how you got here today, the important part is that you got here and that you are here now. So I want y'all to do me a favor for just a couple seconds. Forgive me, Dean, but I want the class of 2022 to stand up, let out a shout, find your support system, and thank them for all that they've done to get to this point. Come on, stand up, give us a roar, and give us a round of applause for your support system. Find them. See them at the party afterward. Come on, let's finish. But graduates, this is indeed your moment, and this is your achievement. And each and every one of you, you have charted your own path. And no matter where you started to get to this prestigious degree, I want you to know that you now possess the skills and the knowledge to succeed in any endeavor that you choose to begin. Now, contrary to popular belief, your college degree, it's not just a piece of paper that you should display in your room to gather dust, but it's a symbol of all that you have accomplished and all that you have become over these past few years. I want y'all to think back to the late nights that you spent cramming for midterms. Think back to that early morning rush to that 8 a.m. class if you took them. But I also want you to think back, and I'm sure you'll never forget, where you were when Keely Ringo caught that pick six to secure the first national championship in over 40 years. You see, when you leave this room today, you will in fact be a part of one of the most elite groups, not just in our state, not just in our nation, yet you are joining one of the most elite groups in the world. Your expertise, your experience, and your judgment, that's all going to be needed to solve the grand challenges of our time. Think about it for a second. Our population across the globe is increasing, and with that comes a growing need to solve the basic elements of humanity. Think about things such as food, clean drinking water, and housing. And climate change is also knocking louder and louder at our door, and we must be prepared to answer that call with an eye towards an actionable solution. Take the recent events of these past few years. It's abundantly clear that our world, as Sharzad has mentioned, is more interconnected than ever before, and that we are no longer just competing at a local level, yet we are indeed competing at a global level. Crises across the globe no longer stop at their respective borders, yet they're felt right here in our own backyard. Look at the war in Ukraine. Think how that's affected our world supply of grain and wheat. Think back to that ship that blocked the Suez Canal and the impact that that had on the world supply chain. And I know that we'll never forget the virus from the other side of the globe that shut our world down. You see, it's increasingly evident that we can no longer wait on the solutions of tomorrow because the future of humanity is being written right here today. Time, indeed, as we have learned, waits for no one. Therefore, we must be willing to use the time that we have now to act. You know, I have a 3-year-old son, and he's in this hero phase. And when he thinks of heroes, he playfully thinks of Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. But you know, I've come to learn that heroes are in fact real, and that they are living among us. You see, when I think of heroes, I think of our frontline medical workers. I think of our soldiers that are protecting us at home and abroad. And I think about the millions of citizens who wake up every morning fighting to make life better for everyone. And like those heroes, there is a hero living inside of each and every one of you. You see, while Batman may have his gadgets and Wonder Woman may have her lasso, you now have your degree. And no one will be able to take that away from you. I think it's more powerful than the previous two. Class of 22, this is my challenge to you. Keep going. Keep striving. Keep pressing forward toward your given ability to positively impact our nation and positively impact our world. Continue to work and cultivate and discover the hero within you. Because as we now know, it is only going to take one person to create positive change in our community. That community can then go and change our state. The state can then go and change our nation, and as we have learned, our nation can indeed change the world. But I'm here today, class of 22, to ask you, are you that one? Even as we sit here today, we sit and stand on the shoulders of those who have paved a way before us. Think of those great Georgians, such as Susie King Taylor, Senator Johnny Isakson, and Dr. King. You see, the weight of their times pressed hard on their shoulders, but they did not falter. Like heat in a forge, they became steeled in their resolve for progress. And while we continue to honor their memories through our works, your shoulders are now the shoulders that future generations will stand upon. You see, when I look across this room, I don't just see college graduates. I see the next Dr. King. I see the next Susie King Taylor. And I see the next Dr. King. But most importantly, I see the next hero. You know, there's this old saying that says there are 2 important days in your life. The first is the day you were born, and the second is the day that you find out why. You see, these last few years have given each of us an opportunity to define our why. Think about it. Together, you and your classmates have survived a pandemic on a global scale. Several of you have taken tests and exams through the filter of a computer screen. And many of us have lost loved ones. See, it's safe to say that these past few years have had their challenges. However, through these trying times, our collective resolve and our resilience of spirit has endured. And we came together to face this pandemic head on. You see, when millions of families became affected by the virus, our neighbors and our friends, they came together to offer a hand. And it is clear now that we as a nation are able to come together and overcome any obstacle that faces us. I want you all to do me a favor, class of 2022. Take one more look around. Take one more deep breath. And I want you to take this moment and hold on to the memories that you have made and the knowledge that you have gained over these past few years. You know, the late John Lewis used to ask, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? He would go on to add that while we may not have chosen the time has chosen us. Ladies and gentlemen, I can rest easy knowing that we have an answer to his question. And that question to the answer is sitting right in front of us today. Class of 2022, we stand together at the precipice of possibility. And as I've stated before, the future of mankind is still being written. And you must ask yourself, where does your story belong in the storied book? Wherever your journey may lead you, I encourage you to look to the sacred words that are inscribed on our state seal and ground your journeys in wisdom, in justice, and in moderation. May God bless you all.
Well, thank you so much, Arthur. Another back-to-back inspirational comments from our speakers. I'd like to ask you now to turn your thoughts to a member of the SPIA student community whom we lost this academic year, Ariana Zarce. Ariana was an international affairs major. She was a bright light in our community, and we miss her. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Now I want to focus on you and this moment of triumph for some 350 graduating seniors from the School of Public and International Affairs. Our graduates hail from locations as far and wide as Mexico City, Seoul, Korea, and the exotic Oconee County, Georgia. Regardless of where you come from, you are now a proud SPIA Bulldog alumni. Congratulations to the SPIA class of 2022. As all the speakers have said, you are truly amazing. College is hard enough, but you did it all during a pandemic. And that's something you'll be able to tell your grandkids. And hopefully they won't know what a pandemic is because we will have solved epidemics and infectious diseases, and because you guys are going to discover how to do that. Now, I want to ask you once again to recognize your family and your friends for their support. Many of them are in person supporting you even today. So one more round of applause to you. The same is true of my faculty colleagues, some of whom are on stage today, and the same is true of our staff, many of whom are trying to find my cue cards. So please thank them as well. So this time of year, every year, there are some seniors who don't have firm plans for the immediate next steps in their future. I want to say that that's okay. There's lots of good news, including not just your degree, but even during COVID. I can show you the data. 6 months after graduation, around 90% of the students that we survey who respond to us tell us that they're in a full-time job, an internship, or in graduate school. And in all of my years in higher ed, I really can't remember a better job market. So there are good things to come for those who don't have firm plans, to the extent that that might include full-time employment. That's okay. That brings me to 3 quick takeaways from your SPIA and UGA experience as you enter the world of work and of life. Remember these 3 things. So now thinking about it, this is maybe, you have to remember 5, 6, and 7 because there were 3 or 4 other things in the combination of remarks that were made already. But here's 1, 2, and 3. Patience, engagement, and inspiration. So first, patience. It's going to be great when you have your full-time job. Some of you have that already. But the probability that your first employer will also be your last employer is very low. And the likelihood that you'll be executive director of that same organization by the year 2023 is also pretty low. Similarly, this probably won't be your dream job. Be patient. You will get there. And the real test of your SPIA degree will be how well we've trained you, not for your first job, but for your 3rd and your 4th job. Second point, engagement. In that first job, be engaged. Be totally engaged. Getting the next job, moving forward, often means killing it in your current job. Figure out what you do well. What's motivating? Are you growing as a person and as a professional? 3, energize yourself and fire your imagination with people who inspire you. Here's a hint. Everybody in this row here could help you with that. Get to know people who make you say, when I grow up, I want to be like them. Importantly, that's not the same thing as saying, wow, I wish I had Elon Musk's bank account. It means finding people who have character, who are honorable, and who bring people together to achieve a common purpose. The last part you will discover over time is the only game in town. It's very difficult to do it all yourself. Yes, we have leaders who have said, I'm the only one who can figure this out. It doesn't really work that way. Solving the big, gnarly challenges require lots of buy-in and a sincere belief in we instead of just me. Spend time with these inspiring people. Watch how they bring out the best in everyone else. If some of that inspiration rubs off on you, it will increase the collective goodwill in your community and beyond. We need this during a time of depleted goodwill. You are uniquely poised for this kind of work. You studied politics and diplomacy at the School of Public and International Affairs. We're counting on you. Congratulations, class of 2022. Now it's on to the main event. I am delighted to welcome Paul Welch, who is the SPIA Director of Student Services, to the stage to recognize each of our graduating seniors. Paul.
Thank you, Dean Auer. It's my pleasure to introduce each member of the class of 2022 for the School of Public and International Affairs of your college football champions, the University of Georgia. Dean Auer and, oh, yeah, you too. As we wait for everyone to get ready, taking places, Aya Neji Abdul Wahab. I know Minna's name, so it's okay. Minna Neji Abdul Wahab. Giovanna Esperanza Aceves. Lindsay Jewel Aiden. Helen Giselle Alejo. Erin Ann Alford. Jacob Bailey Allen. Chigazea Umese. Jacob Emmanuel Adrande. Carson Sidney Bailey. Mika Baltes. J.C. Lynn Beeson. Marshall Dean Burton. Kennica Blake. Elizabeth Porter Bowles. Zoe Medley Booth. Hugh Morgan Bradley. Sydney Morgan Brazil. Christopher Frank Brown. Kristen Nicole Budsberg. Preciosa Angela Kureg Bularin. Jacob Shiloh Burgess. Candace Ann Callahan. Natalie Andrea Campbell. Christopher Joseph Carringer. Nora Chandiser. Nicole Marie Childress. Erin Nicole Church. Katrina Elizabeth Cochran. Nadia Elise Coleman. Elizabeth Correa. Pilar Sofia Corso. Carolyn Grace Daig. Morgan Rebecca Dickinson. William Danforth Doss. Power Avery Evans. Kinsley Faith Farrar. Hannah Nicole Fishbein. Rebecca Allison Bryant. Maria Fernanda Flores Hernandez. Tucker Gaston Furman. Megan Elizabeth Gallagher. Janelle Jarrett Garcia. Paula Garcia. Zachary Addison Gilbert. Rachel Elizabeth Glenn. Austin Keith Grant. Sean Ryan Green. Mackenzie Ray Griffin. Riley Marie Grube. Caitlin Nicole Gurley. Alexandra Elaine Harden. Francis Joseph Hargadon. Ansley Brooke Hatcher.
Alexa Grace Hernandez. Anna Cassandra Ray Higdon. Ivy R. Holmes. Elizabeth Lauren Howell. Gotcha. Vanessa Javangula. Jenna Jabreen. Dawson Brennan Johnson. Kaya Michonne Johnson. Hope Francis Kagan. Namreta Kella. Julie Fatoza Kettle. Priyanka Maria Cote. Amanda Michelle Klopstock. Abyssinia Eva Lemma. Maxwell Isaac Lorraine. Zoe Faith Madeline. Ariana Barry Boonway. Dale Lauren McKellar. Carolyn Marie McLean. Harrison Drew McMillan. Tyler Walker Meadows. Savannah Faye Messel. Clark Adrian Minor. Mallory Nicole Mitchell. Paige Emily Mitchell. Alania Shea Moore. Brett Daniel Morrison. Ivana Lachey Moats. Bartram Reeves Muller. Elvea Galvez Negreta. Alyssa Marie Newman. Uzoma Sika Onovo. Grayson T. Pace. Lauren Marie Palmer. Demetrios Michael Gray Papas. Mercury Monica Parks. Jeffrey E. Parmit. Kishan Patel. Allison Grapes Phipps. Allison is the first SPIA graduate to complete the Certificate in Data Analytics for Public Policy Analysis. Congratulations, Allison. Christina Elaine Reininger. Samantha Ingrid Ratana Garcia. Kaylee Elizabeth Rowell. Carly Lynn Schwam. Bradley Harris Shanker. Haley June Shepard. Raina Rajan Sheth. Savannah Lauren Simpson. Casey Elizabeth Smith. Langley Elizabeth Smith. Caitlin Nicole Snyder. Chelsea Erin Saylor Summers. Ashley Rachel Tanner. Mariah Heaven Thomas. Quintravius Marnelvin Thomas. Andrew Scott Thompson. Catherine Elizabeth Thompson. Kylie Abigail Thompson. Megan Elizabeth Toomey. Emma Joanna Trainer.
Thank you.
Bouquet Urgin. Jai Upkar Varshni. Jacob Isaiah Vale. Claudia Sofia Vega Castillo. John Taskin Ward. Emily S. Warshaw. Reese McKenzie Waters. Emma Lee Welch. Carrington Steele Wilkes. Elisa Elaine Williams. Sarah Kaylee Williams. Jance Garrett Womack. Liliana Grace Yearns. Cassidy Lingley Jing. Haley Ann Gamis. Sierra Reether Blackman.
And Narky Norton, I believe, is with us. He will be singing our alma mater. If you check the back of your program, I know you've memorized it, but if you haven't, Narky will help you with that. So please, if you'll join me at the podium, Narky Norton.
All right, so you were warmed up with Taylor Swift already. Thank you. I'm going to ask the graduates to please stand. There's a tradition I have with the graduates every year since 2014. I'm going to ask you all to repeat after me. I am SPIA. You are SPIA. We are SPIA. Give yourselves a hand. All right, now that you're warmed up, we're going to do the first verse, and then we'll go to third, and then we'll do second and third, and then I've got a little small solo just for 22. Is that all right? Okay, 1, 2, ready, and from the hills of Georgia's northland beams thy noble brow, and the sons of Georgia rising pledge with sacred vow. Alma mater, thee will honor, true and loyal be, ever crowned with praise and glory, Georgia hail to thee. And thy daughters proudly join thee, take their rightful place, side by side into the future, equal dreams embrace. Alma mater, thee will honor, true and loyal be, ever crowned with praise and glory, Georgia hail to thee. Georgia hail to thee. Go Dogs!